I just got terrible news. They are torturing worms at Walmart to the death. I'm gonna save the worms, but I live in the Florida Keys and we don't have a Walmart here. So I'm currently driving a whole hour up to Miami to get to a Walmart so I can extract the worms and bring them to safety. Something super weird happened when I got to Walmart. I parked, turned my truck off, answered some texts, and this lady who didn't know I was sitting in the truck walked right up to my license plate and took a picture. Then I opened my door and they kind of scurried off. There was 3 of them. This bald guy in the front and then these 2 chicks in the back. If you know them, I'm super curious why they took a picture. As they were walking away, they also took a picture of the license plate of this black Denali. I don't know what's going on. We're in the Walmart parking lot, and you're about to find out why Walmart is the Auschwitz to the worms. I'm about to expose the whole worm conspiracy. This is why I don't go to Walmarts. This is like the cesspool of the world. But let's go inside. All right, we're in the hunting and fishing section of Walmart. Do I look sketchy holding my camera? Hell yeah. But this fridge right here is where the disaster happens. It's the live worm bait fridge. And all of these worm packets are just covered in mold. Look at that. Dead worms covered in mold. And it's pretty much every single one of them. Look at that. Just a pile of mold, worms holding each other in a pile, dead. There are some packets, however, that had living worms with no mold. I'm going to be saving these guys before they meet the fate that the other worms had to go through. So these are some night crawler worms. We got a couple different brands in here too, and some brands seem to do better than others. I found a couple of bobbers and the worms were making me feel nostalgic, so put those in the cart too. But look just at all this mold. Now, it's primarily these top worms that seem to have died to the plague, and their entire container is made out of like a cardboard container, while the other ones have plastic tops. So the ones with the plastic tops just seem to be doing a little bit better. So one by one, I looked through all the containers and all the survivors I shoved into my cart. And once I had all the little prisoners, I carted my way to the exit for extraction. We're back in the truck. And boy, do I feel violated. There is 40 checkout lines, only 2 of them were open. It took me about 30 minutes just to check out. And I spent $96.10 on our worm pals, which I got in the back now. So extraction successful. Whew, we're safe now. We're back in the Florida Keys, away from civilization and the crazy world. And I have my worms here. I saved the ones that I could. You guys saw all that mold on the worms. They were dying. No joke, probably 70 to 80% of all the worms in there had died and were decaying and all that mold. Whew. But we're gonna find out if there's really 30 worms inside of one of these. It says there's 30 worms. What does this one say? This one says 18, so we'll see, and then we're gonna bring them to their new home. I have all these plants with soil that needs to be aerated and broken down, and the worms are gonna be working hard. I swear these worms are not my slaves. I'm setting them free. Definitely not slaves. No, see, these pots are full of organics. We got eggshells and salad and stuff that I don't finish eating, and I dump it all in there and the worms can break it down into soil. See, it's even called Heiko's Happy Worm Farm. So, oh, what's this? Somebody wrote me something. This farm is not happy. The price is blood. Run away. Your fellow worm, William the Worm III. I don't even know a William. There's some weird things going on out here. Time to find out how many slaves I got. I'm definitely gonna put on some gloves so I don't have to touch those vile little creatures. All right. Oh, I was already recording. I meant friendly worms. We're gonna, our friends. So these are live red worms packed on 1209. So these were packed 24 days ago, freshly dug for fishing bait. So there should be 30 in here. Hey, it's even endorsed by Bill Dance, our favorite bass fisherman, made in the USA. All right, let's take a look. Okay, these ones luckily are still alive. We'll dump them out. Yes. Ooh, look at all the little worms. Woohoo! All right, I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 34 worms. Okay, so, hey, at least the advertising's on point. Bill Dance. Yeah, Bill Dance would never lie to me. What about these guys? So these are DMF Bait Co. from Michigan, the Canadian night crawlers. Wait, where are these from? Wormville, since 1983. I don't know where that is. Doesn't say. Unless Wormville is a real place. It just says made in the USA. And these are, it says Canadian night crawlers. They are a product of Canada. And their slogan is, "Our worms catch fish or die trying." This is a morbid world that we live in. Are there 18 worms in here? These worms are much bigger. Wow, these worms are double the size. I wonder if they will mate with the other worms. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look how big those are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This guy looks like he got chopped in half at one point. All right, so there's 12 worms in there. Yeah, you know, it might have been undersold a little bit. It says 18, we got 12. Let's try another pack. I'm all about fair chances. 1, 2, 18, 19, a little baby, and 20. Okay, so that one was 20. I'd say that's okay. The question is, can I mix red worms and Canadian night crawlers in the same soil, or are they gonna eat each other? I should probably Google that. I'll get them out of the sun for now so they don't overheat. Give them a little spritzer of water. Hey, this is spa treatment. I don't know what the problem with this William, the worm, the third guys. I don't know what his problem is, but hey Siri, can you mix night crawlers and red worms in the same pot? The Canadian night crawler is a soil-dwelling worm that is very popular for fishing due to its large size. Clearly we just saw that. These Canadian night crawlers are way bigger. Oh, it says the problem is that Canadian night crawlers like to dig very deep in soil, and that's why they're usually hard to farm raise, and the red worms are more ideal for being in soil. It says in theory, yes, they can be kept in the same place, but preferably you want to keep the two species separated. I think ideally I would want to keep all these worms separated. I have 2 worm farms, but both of them have the red worms in them. So maybe I can dig out all the red worms and put them all in this one, and then I can put the night crawlers in this one, and then I'll have 2 different worms. That means I'm gonna have to do a little bit of digging for these cute little creatures. There's one. Aha! Come back here, you. There we go, that's a red worm. And when I put him in here, he was a lot smaller. So man, they're fattening up. They're eating good. I grow peppers, and the ones that I don't eat, I'll throw in here. Pretty much throw any organics in here and the worms will eat it. A lime. And there's some bird feathers in here. I definitely didn't put a bird carcass in there that my cat brought to me. Definitely didn't do that. I love animals. I'm really confused. I thought there's at least 30 worms in here, and I've only been able to find like 3 or 4. Did they all escape? Where has William the Worm the Third led the army to? Because I think they've escaped. Hey Siri. Will worms eat a dead bird in the soil?
Worms will help decompose a dead bird in the soil.
Yes!
This is from Wikipedia.
I got all the night crawlers in here. I've been noticing something very strange with the worms, and when I dump them out, they're always all clumped together. See, all the worms are clumped together. They're all embracing each other and hugging and intertwined. I don't know if they're doing that because they're having fun with each other and embracing each other, trying to make worm babies, or are they fearful of their lives and holding on to each other for comfort? I don't know. Wait a minute. I'm filling up this water canister so I could water the worm pots, get them a nice moist soil for the worms. I could just spray it directly. What am I doing? I could just do this directly. I don't need to fill up a canister first. That's why I bought this thing. I definitely have problems, clearly. Okay, here we got the night crawlers. Oh, I got a leak in my hose. And that's exactly where I saw Elliot chewing on it yesterday. My cat. Where is he? Justice must be served. Hey, Elliot, where you at? Oh, you think you can just sleep on the bed, huh? Check out my worms. I know what you did to the hose. Just letting you know that I know, okay? Yeah, you're forgiven this time. Night crawlers, there you go. Ah! And then all the red worms. These worms are much more active. They're all running around already, trying to get under the ground. These guys are slow and lazy. I mean, they're barely moving, but I don't blame them. They're probably in shock after being in this tiny canister. So I'll keep the containers in here so I remember which one's what. And the crazy thing is, worms will actually eat these cardboard containers. You can put cardboard in here, they'll eat it. You can put organics in here like dead leaves, branches, eggshells, bones, fish carcasses. I can put anything I want in here that's organic. And my worms, they will eat it and they will break it down, and really you're left with something called worm castings, or AKA worm poop. And you can just take a handful of this extremely rich, very rich and nutritious combination of soil, worm poop, all these broken down nutrients that your plant can eat. So now you just take a little bit of it, just put it in your plant pots, and you have organic fertilizer that's going to give you some luscious fat daddy plants. Look how many peppers I got on this. Just absolutely loaded with peppers. We got some really fat ones too. Parsley, dill, more peppers. We got ladybugs everywhere. The ladybugs are very good. They eat little insects that try to kill your plants. The ladybugs will eat them. Ladybugs are awesome. I got ladybugs and I got worms. Whew. I'm surprised the ladies aren't lining up. This is a little cherry tree, chives, strawberries, which aren't doing too hot. I fail every time with strawberries. Lime tree, lemon tree, pineapple. This fertilizer is gonna grow me a freaking jungle. Raspberries. They say that the worm population doubles every 3 months. So in 3 months, I should have twice that many worms. And then in 3 months from there, that should be twice of that. In like 6 or 9 months, these bags should be just full of worms. So we're gonna just wait and we're gonna see what happens. It's such a beautiful day today, and I am smoking some meat. We got a Boston butt, some chickens, and I can't help but think it would be so nice to just cast a line off the dock and try to catch a fish. Which got me thinking, I wonder, do saltwater fish eat worms? And then I started thinking, it's kind of late in the day and it's a Sunday and all the tackle shops are closed. So where would I buy bait? And where would I get some worms? No, I can't. But I can, but I can't. There's Captain Elliot And here is the worm farm. And you might notice this branch. This came from the Christmas tree and I stuck it in here because Elliot, the kitty cat, was using the worm farms as his litter box. He would go in here and make it his own little pleasure palace. Isn't that right, buddy? I know what you did. So I put this stick in here and he hasn't gone back in since. So a little trick of the trade if you have cat problems. Right? You're a problem, right, buddy? Yeah, that's a good little kitty. So I need some bait. I'm starting to think William the Worm the Third was, maybe he wasn't wrong. Maybe I'll just take a couple of worms. Oh man, am I worse than Walmart right now? I am Walmart. Damn. Genuinely curious though if we can find some worms in here. So these are the Canadian night crawlers. I'll just put them back into their original little cage. All right, where's the worms at? Oh, right off the rip. Ooh, big fat juicy one. All right, that's one worm. Ooh, there's another worm. How many worms am I gonna take? You gotta be careful sifting through this dirt because I don't wanna like cut them in half, but it might be enough. Oh, found one. There we go. Another worm. So they are in there and they look very happy. That's 3 worms. I'm thinking 6 worms? Oh yeah, that's a freaking monster. Dude, look at that worm. Holy smokes. They got so much bigger. They've been in here for what, like 3 or 4 weeks now. Oh, look at the size of that guy. Yeah, bait. I want to try these red worms too, and they are everywhere. I did 1 scoop and look, 1 worm, 2 worms, 3 worms, 4 worms. He was playing dead. He was probably trying to avoid being detected. This feels extremely nostalgic. Worms in one hand, rod with a bobber in the other hand. Do you think we're gonna get a bite? Maybe we will get a nibble. Okay. Let me show you what we're working with. A classic J hook going to a bobber. Bobber to hook, and we will see the bite. This is the part where some of y'all may want to look away. Let's start with a big, fat, juicy one. Actually, let's start with a small one. I guess we'll just hook it a couple of times. Oh, I actually feel, this don't feel right. This does not feel right at all. Got him. And that is a worm on a hook. Just toss it out there. It is really cool being able to see the bobber. I can see the worm down there. He's wiggling around. Very good presentation. A+ for presentation. 10 out of 10 for nostalgia. But will a saltwater fish eat the worm? That's the real question. I see some fish further out there, so I'm gonna... Oh yeah. Yeah. Perfect spot. I want to see that bobber go down. Come on. Take it. Do it. There's a fish looking at it. It's looking at it. Come on. I think these fish don't want to bite my hook because I'm just standing here staring at them and they see me. There are absolutely no fish around. There's just a couple minnows that are smaller than the worm. If you can look in the water, it's crystal clear, but no worms. I mean fish, no fish. We do got worms. Poor guy. Well, he still is twitching a little bit. I'll tell y'all what. I'm gonna put these worms back in their home into Heiko's Happy Worm Farm. And if this video hits 2,000 likes, I will take my boat with a couple of packs of worms and we're gonna head offshore out to the reef, out here in the ocean where there's lots and lots of big fish. And we will find out if the fish will eat worms out in the ocean. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because we gonna be filling this boat with worms and we gonna be heading offshore. 2,000 likes, baby, that's all I'm asking for. Thanks y'all for watching this one. See you on the next one. Cheers.